The Senate will come to order. I ask everyone present to please rise and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. In the absence of clergy, let us bow our heads in a moment of silent reflection or prayer. Reading of the Journal.
In Senate, Sunday, March 6, 2022, the Senate met pursuant to adjournment. The Journal of Saturday, March 5, 2022 was read and approved. On motion, the Senate adjourned.
Without objection, the Journal stands approved as read. Presentation of petitions, messages from the Assembly. Secretary will read.
Senator Biaggi moves to discharge from the Committee on Codes Assembly Bill number 2035B and substitute it for the identical Senate Bill 812, third reading count of 381.
Substitution so ordered. Messages from the Governor. Reports of standing committees. Reports of select committees. Communications and reports from state officers. Motions and resolutions. Senator Gineris.
Good afternoon, Madam President. Amendments are offered to the following third reading calendar bills by Senator Thomas, Calendar 132, Senator Hinchey, Calendar 279, Senator Skoufis, Calendar 338, and Senator Harkin, Calendar 551.
The amendments are received and the bills will retain its place on the third reading calendar. Senator Gineris.
I also wish to call up Senator Mannion's bill, Senate 4469, recalled from the Assembly, which is now at the desk.
Secretary will read.
Calendar number 539, Senate Print 4469 by Senator Mannion, an act to amend the Mental Hygiene Law and the Social Services Law.
Move to reconsider the vote by which the bill was passed.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White. Ayes 63.
The bill is restored to its place on the third reading calendar.
I offer the following amendments. The
amendments are received and the bills will retain its place on the third reading calendar.
Please take up the reading of the calendar.
Secretary will read.
Calendar number 217, Senate Print 49 by Senator Kaplan, an act to amend the Real Property Tax Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 120th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 221, Senate Print 1659 by Senator Skoufis, an act to amend the General Municipal Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect on the 60th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results. Okay. Announce the results.
In relation to Calendar 221, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Boyle, Gallivan, Griffo, Helming, Jordan, Martucci, Matera, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rath, Ritchie, Sereno, Steck, Tedisco, and White. Ayes 44, nays 19.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 225, Senate Print 7186A by Senator Brooks, an act to amend the General Municipal Law and the Town Law.
Read the last section.
Section 4, this act shall take effect on the 90th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Senator Roth to explain his vote.
First of all, I want to thank the sponsor, Senator Brooks, for sponsoring this important piece of legislation, which I'm also proud to co-sponsor. This gives our local volunteer fire companies a critical tool for maintaining its services in our communities. In upstate New York and across all of New York State, volunteer fire companies provide critical services each and every day. Make no mistake, 24/7, 365, these men and women put their lives at risk because for them, public safety is paramount. However, these vital emergency services don't come cheaply. In fact, volunteer fire companies are confronted with rising costs, many barriers, and membership pressures. For too long, volunteer fire departments in New York have been impeded from recovering important costs which are attributed to the emergency services that they provide. Amazingly, if you can believe this, New York State is the only state in the country that does not allow volunteer fire companies to set service fees for emergency services that are provided. Today, we right this wrong. We enable fire departments to establish protocols that make them more financially viable. And this is a necessary step towards ensuring public safety in our fire districts continues unabridged. For these reasons, Madam Chair, I am proud to vote in the affirmative. Thank you.
Senator Rath to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to Calendar 225, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Brisport and Skoufis. Ayes 61, nays 2.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 268, Senate Print 6777A by Senator Salazar, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act will take effect April 1st, 2023.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
In relation to Calendar 268, those senators voted in the negative are Senators Akshar, Borrello, Gallivan, Helming, Jordan, Lanza, Matera, Oberacker, O'Mara, Ort, Palumbo, Rath, Ritchie, Steck, and Tedisco. Ayes 48, nays 15.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 272, Senate Print 1577A by Senator Rivera, an act to amend the Social Services Law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart, Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 308, Senate Print 2976A by Senator Harkam, an act to...
Laid aside.
I know, right? Calendar number 332, Senate Print 1104 by Senator Stewart Cousins, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act will take effect on the 90th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 354, Senate Print 2629 by Senator Sanders, an act to amend the general municipal law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act will take effect on the 30th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 381, Assembly number 2035B by Assembly Member New, an act to amend the executive law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act will take effect on the 120th day after it shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed.
Calendar number 401, Senate Print 3448A by Senator Hinchey, an act to amend the education law.
Read the last section.
Section 2, this act shall take effect immediately.
Call the roll.
Adabo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Announce the results.
Ayes 63.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of today's calendar.
Let's take up the controversial calendar, please.
The secretary will ring the bell. Secretary will read.
Calendar number 308, Senate Print 2976A by Senator Harkam, an act to amend the mental hygiene law.
Senator Helming, why do you rise?
Madam President, I believe there's an amendment at the desk. I waive the reading of that amendment and ask that you recognize Senator Martucci to be heard.
Thank you, Senator Helming. Upon review of the amendment, in accordance with Rule 6, Section 4B, I rule it non-germane and out of order at this time.
Accordingly, Madam President, I appeal the ruling of the chair and ask that Senator Martucci be recognized.
The appeal has been made and recognized, and Senator Martucci may be heard.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise to appeal the ruling of the chair. The proposed amendment is germane to the bill in chief. The bill in chief before this House is about providing access and information to individuals suffering from substance use disorder once they're released from a treatment or correctional facility here in New York. The proposed amendment that I'm bringing to the floor today, and that this minority has brought to the floor in the past, will repeal the bail and discovery reforms that allow the vast majority of drug dealers here in the state of New York to be released onto the streets pending trial. As overdose deaths in this state spike, bail reform laws passed by the majority right here in this chamber release these drug dealers who are profiteering from the sale of poison in our communities that are killing our friends, our neighbors, and our family members immediately back onto the streets. Madam President, bail reform has become an unmitigated disaster. I could think of hundreds of examples, but one example, a poignant example from my district, is the story of a man by the name of Billy Steinberg. Billy Steinberg was the assistant chief at the Forestburg Fire Department. He was a beloved son, a father, a member of Laborers Local 17, and a community member who was highly valued by members of his community. And on January 15th, he answered his last alarm and died in a line-of-duty death at the young age of 37 years old. The fire that he was responding to was set by an arsonist who, the day before Billy's death on January 14th of 2022, was arrested by state police and released for setting 2 arson fires, one on January 10th and one on January 13th, just days before the fire was set that claimed Billy's life. Why was this arsonist out on the street? Well, it was because of the bail reform laws. The bail reform laws that required someone who was charged with arson third or arson fourth, both felony charges, to be immediately released. Madam President, people are literally dying. Billy died because of this dangerous law. This is not hyperbole, this is reality. You need to look no further than into the eyes of Billy's father, look at the pain of a family who struggled with the loss of their son, and to be there on the day of Billy's funeral to watch the funeral procession come up Broadway in Monticello, with his father leading, holding one of the last things he has of his son left, his fire helmet. You need to look no further than that to know that it's time, long past time, that we make a change here. Sadly, so many lawmakers continue to put their head in the sand and play ostrich on this important issue. New Yorkers know this is wrong. A recent Siena poll said that 65% of New Yorkers supported tightening up bail laws. 70% of New York City residents and the majority of all those polled said that they were concerned about becoming a victim of crime. It's okay to make a mistake, but what we need to do is fix it. Denial is not a strategy. Let's pass this amendment before us here today so that not one more New Yorker dies or falls victim to drug dealers or to arsonists or to anyone else. Madam President, the clock is ticking, and the people of this state are demanding change. Let's do this today. Let's do this before there's even just one more victim. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Senator. I want to remind the House that the vote is on the procedures of the House and the ruling of the chair. Those in favor of overruling the chair signify by saying aye.
Request a show of the hands.
We've agreed to waive the showing of hands and record each member of the minority in the affirmative.
Without objection, so ordered. Announce the results.
Ayes 20.
The ruling of the chair stands and the bill in chief is before the House. Are there any other senators wishing to be heard? Seeing and hearing none, the debate is closed. The secretary will ring the bell. Read the last section.
Section 5, this act will take effect on the 180th day and shall become a law.
Call the roll.
Addabbo, Gianaris Kruger, Ort, Stewart Cousins, White.
Senator Harcum to explain his vote.
Thank you very much, Madam President, and thank you for your ruling on the hostile amendment. I was not going to originally speak on this bill because this is a bill that we passed in this chamber a year ago without any politics or any fanfare. This is a bill about giving folks the opportunity at second chance at life. I respect my colleagues on the other side of the aisle for their wanting to make a political speech, but I think it was very telling that this was a bill that they chose to talk about criminalization. For too long in New York State, we have been criminalizing substance use disorder. We have been criminalizing mental health. Many of the things that we see transpiring on our streets are due to a spiraling opioid crisis. We're seeing a spiraling mental health crisis. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of beds have been cut across the state and all of our districts. And while the former governor was doing that, our colleagues on the other side of the aisle were in charge of this House. So, you know, it's ironic to me that when we now are reinvesting in substance use disorder treatment, opioid use disorder treatment, mental health, for the first time we are investing in treatment, they want to take a bill and turn it into criminalizing folks with these disorders. Just a very, very different perspective. I vote aye. Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Harcum to be recorded in the affirmative. Announce the results.
In relation to calendar 308, voted in the negative, Senator Gallivan, aye 62, nays 1.
The bill is passed. Senator Gianaris, that completes the reading of the controversial calendar.
Is there any further business at the desk?
There is no further business at the desk.
Move to adjourn until tomorrow, Tuesday, March 8th at 3 p.m.
On motion, the Senate stands adjourned until Tuesday, March 8th at 3 p.m.